Hey everybody, this is Pat and Heidi from Rain Country.
God is good all the time.
We wanted to give you guys a little bit of an update for winter of 2018. This is in mid-December we're putting this out. You'll probably see it in January. So
2019.
In 2019. So we would just kind of want to give you guys a little bit of a clue what's going on around here, what we've been doing. Most of you who keep up with us keep abreast of what we do from, well, pretty much day to day. But this is kind of a general smorgasbord, or what do you call it, collage of things that we've been doing here.
A verbal collage?
Since the last time we talked. So.
But I put pictures in too.
Yeah.
I try to keep it a little more interesting.
Right.
Yeah.
So just looking at our mugs.
Yeah. So we've been really busy, you know, like always, but, you know, just seems like a lot of little projects. Well, big projects too. Lots of big projects and little projects going on. So, Mr. Rain, would you like to talk about the cedar tree?
Yes, the cedar tree. And most people would say, well, it should only take you half a day to take that cedar tree out and make it disappear. Well, that's true. Probably stump and all for the size of tree it is. So what we've been doing with that cedar tree and also the ash tree is value adding to those two trees that were taken out. Those trees have a lot of history with us, and we want to maximize the value that we can get out of those trees. And so if you guys have been watching our Etsy store, we've been putting up a few items, new items, and added to our storefront, or what do you call it?
Yeah, our storefront.
Inventory. And so some of those things are reflective in what you see in there. I managed to take the tree down. We got a video of that. I was able to sell the cedar boughs off of that tree, and we made enough money to where I can get a new wardrobe.
Yes, because he was desperate need of new t-shirts. And that's, you know, and that's another side issue, that around here we don't do Black Friday, we boycott it, but around here in our small town every year, twice a year, they have something at our one big local store that we have, our store that has everything, and including Carhartts. And it's called Moonlight Madness, and all the clothing goes 20% off, including the Carhartts, which is pretty much the only name brand stuff we'll buy brand new, because it's worth it. It
lasts a long time.
Cost effective, they're heavy duty. But yeah, he had some pretty ragged looking shirts, so we were holding out for that Moonlight Madness so we could stock up on that, so the timing was perfect.
Well, the unfortunate thing is these shirts that I usually wear, that you see in every single video I do, they don't hold up under welding slag very well, or snags and different things. There are durable t-shirts, but they do wear out. So
yeah.
Anyway, we maximized the benefit off the tree. Instead of just hauling that stuff off or burning it, we're able to capitalize on, you know, making it disappear. We do miss the tree. You know, it was a beautiful tree. Both those trees were very nice trees, but you know, we're trying to make our property a little bit more food friendly and productive for self-sustainability. So part of that self-sustainability is making use of the materials that are actually on your property. Means it's a third of an acre or 300 acres. You try to maximize your land and what it can produce for you, and be a good steward of what God has given you. So.
And it's really been, I really thought I would miss those trees a lot more than I do, but it's so nice because it's actually on the south side of our house, which is it's our front yard. And so that's where we're going to put our little mini orchard. We already have several trees picked out. We have a couple already in pots that are going in there, and a couple more that we want to get. And then the front garden that's right in front of the house, I've been expanding every year, so now we'll get lots of light. But the big thing I've noticed is that I like to sit on the floor. I'm kind of funny that way. I always sit on the floor right in front of the couch. And so in the mornings when we're having our coffee and jet fuel latte, and we're talking about our day and what our plans are, the sun actually comes through that window and shines right on my face, and I love it. I never got that before. And the dogs love it too. They found that little sunny spot where they can, you know, stay inside and still get some sun. So it's been really nice. So I'm really happy with that.
Right.
And the fruit trees will be able to keep those low enough that should be able to get all that sun, because the cedar tree was decent size. So for a front yard tree, it was pretty big. And then let's see, one of the other things that Patrick did was finish out, we talked about in our last update video about him working on that countertop for the great room, which is their former dance and martial arts studio. And he got that all finished up just in time for Thanksgiving, so we were able to use that countertop as a buffet for serving all the food, and it was so nice to not have everybody crowded in the kitchen getting their food. And it's beautiful, and of course I've got some pictures I'll be inserting right here so you can see what that looks like. If you haven't been watching our community page or following us on the other social media pages, you can see those pictures. I'm very much in love with that countertop. He did an amazing job.
You guys are just showing up and you haven't been watching us for a long time. I took my old equipment trailer, which is made out of oak, and took cuttings out of it and give it the old rustic look. So anyway, avoiding the rot and different things. The reason I replaced the equipment trailer is because, you know, it was rotting, and so I took some cuttings out of the boards, dried them, milled them down to where I could get them all to where they could fit, and add a little bit of rustic character to the countertop. Yeah. So that was a long, drawn-out process. It's not just like putting down plywood and throwing some laminate on there.
And letting that wood dry. You had to let it dry for quite a while.
Yeah, I actually acclimate to that room for a year.
Yeah.
So any moisture would be acclimated. The moisture content in that wood would be climatized to that particular area of the house, so it's very stable.
It's the same wood that he used to make that cabinet for our bathroom sink here off the foyer, off the laundry room. And I have a few different videos on that, but I'll go ahead and link to the final one up here where he shows the whole finished process. And but yeah, it turned out beautiful. I just love it.
I still have some more of that lumber left, or some of those old boards left, and I have some more projects in mind. I haven't quite obligated to what projects those will be, because I only have so much of it left, but Mrs. Rain will probably end up with it in the house here somewhere.
Yay! Another thing that we did get done, or Mr. Rain got done, if you haven't seen it already, a lot of people have been asking for about 2 years for this video, was Patrick finally put together the colloidal silver generator video, and he shows 2 different ways to make it. Our way, what we're using and we've been using for, gosh, maybe 5 years now. And then another more simple way for those who are just getting started. And I'll go ahead and link to that video right up there so you can see that, especially for those who have been waiting for that and you may have missed the publish of that one.
Yeah, you guys have poked and prodded long enough to where actually...
Kathleen.
To where we got that up for you, so...
Our high maintenance viewer.
So we hope you guys enjoy that and get something out of it. It's not an ionic silver video. It is a colloidal silver video. There is a difference. So.
Right. And remember, this is just the way we do it. There's much debate on what's the right way.
Right.
All we know is this is what we've been doing, and it works great for us. And we use the colloidal silver in a whole bunch of different things. And I've had people who've actually bought some from us that have been very pleased with the results in their skin, taking it internally, and their health overall. So, you know,
I have acquired a kind of a weird twitch out of the whole thing.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, at least you're not blue or purple or green or whatever it was even. One thing I've been doing lately is you know, of course I'm staying very busy with the soap making, the lip balm making, the skin cream making, the skirt making, and the apron making. But the new thing I've started, at least for the winter, is making all flannel patchwork skirts. Now, I tend to include flannel pieces in my patchwork skirts if I come across flannel that looks pretty, it goes good with the other fabrics I'm using. I don't, you know, I mix and match fabrics all the time, but the skirts I've been making and aprons have been all flannel, so very cozy and warm, and people have really been liking that. So that's been a fun one. I enjoy, I love working with flannel, and plus, you know, whether you choose to wear it as a dress skirt, it looks nice and, you know, looks pretty enough to wear as a dress skirt, but it makes a great around the house skirt for winter time, and the aprons too, because they're warm. They're actually lighter weight than you would expect, especially the solid ones, and they're absorbent. You know, you can, if I wash my hands, I can wipe them off on my skirt or my apron. I don't have to go find a towel, so it works. That works pretty good. But yeah, I really love flannel, and I'll be doing some more videos working with flannel. In fact, I hope to shoot that one today. Video on how to make your own insoles for your shoes to make them more comfy, or if your shoes are just a little bit too big. And I tend to do that a lot. I've made several of them, so be watching for that video to come out eventually.
Well, another thing that we unexpectedly did a repair on is my wife would not be able to get by without some sort of handyman around the house. But anyway, she broke the glass in the wood stove.
Now you have to admit, we've had that wood stove for a good number of years.
No
and it's
excuses.
The first time I've ever broke the glass. So
a miracle in itself.
Pretty good for me.
Anyway, so we had I took a piece of plate steel and laid it on the floor in front of the fireplace that had a little lip on it, a little piece of scrap steel that I had. Actually, it's aluminum, I'm sorry. And so if the glass were to fall out of the old stove, it would land on that fireproof surface. And so it took about a week to get the new glass in. As soon as it came in, we went right to work replacing that glass, and so we're back in normal operations.
He went right to work to replace the glass. But yeah, we managed to keep that glass. I was so sure it was going to fall out at any time, but you know what? It stayed. Pat kept telling me, look at it closely. It's not going anywhere. It's wedged on there just the way it broke and the way it was sitting on it itself. But you know, I was just like very careful, but the glass stayed in there the whole time, so we managed to keep fires going through that whole week, which was perfect because it was cold. It was freezing. And so I was worried about the fire getting too hot with the gaps in the glass, but it was actually perfect because with as cold as it got here that week, it just kept the house just the right temperature for the most part. Not that it's impossible, it's improbable to get.
I think she posted some sort of picture on Facebook or something like that, but the way the glass was shaped, it was like pie pieces. And so each one was kind of holding each other in place, kind of like an archway over, you know, like for a brick archway. And so the possibility of those things falling out were unlikely, not impossible, but unlikely. Because
especially not impossible with me. Yeah. I was surprised I didn't find a way to knock that out.
Yeah.
I really think about it, I can be careful.
She is too scared to touch the door, so
I know.
I kept having to load the wood stove.
I did load it sometimes. I started getting a little more brave, but
anyway,
still things happen.
Things happen. Situations, you know, rear their ugly head sometime, and you just have to roll the punches. So, and that's one of the things about being self-sufficient, is that you figure out ways of doing things on your own, by yourself, or, you know, she's got skills that she shines at, and I have skills that I try to shine at.
He does.
And we try to, you know, we complement each other in our projects.
You're radiant at your skills, Patrick.
Radiant. Oh.
Radiant. Some other things is I got some seeds, did my first Baker Creek order and an order from Danny and Wanda. Thank you, Danny and Wanda. I got some of those Cherokee pumpkin seeds. I'm so excited to try growing those. I hope they do well here. But I'll be doing a separate video just on my seeds and what I plan on planting for 2019. So be watching for that down the road. But anyway, I was really glad to get, because they had a real limited supply of those seeds on their Deep South Homestead on their Etsy store. So I was really glad to get my hands on a package of those, and so that's one of the things. But I'll talk about everything else in that video coming up.
And so Danny, when you get your Danny seeds, Danny corn, next time you get some Danny corn, we want to go ahead and get some of that. Give that a try up here in the Great Northwest.
I didn't get that. I didn't get to it soon enough, so I didn't get any Danny corn again. I need to be watching out for that. So. And then another thing, speaking of pumpkins, was some of you may remember that volunteer pumpkin I had that normally I just grow the smaller pie pumpkins, but I got that one good sized volunteer. What was it? It was like 17 pounds-ish or something. And I got that processed up, and I ended up getting 14.5 cups of pumpkin puree out of it, which really surprised me. It was a lot more dense than I expected, because usually when I've ever bought like a big pumpkin in the past, they were always pretty thin, but it ended up being a really good pumpkin for making pies with. And so I got that processed up, pureed, and bagged up and in the freezer for making pies. So we've got, and I still have lots of bags of pumpkin puree from growing pie pumpkins a few years ago in there. So
so what does that tell you?
It means I have enough pumpkin to make pies for several years, because you usually only make about 2 pumpkin pies a year.
She just told on herself that she doesn't make enough pies around here.
I make a lot of pie. I just don't do a lot. I love pumpkin pie. We both do, but I usually only do it, make 2 a year. So I should start making more. But I've done other things with the puree, and I do hope to remember to finally dehydrate some up and turn it into a powder. But I've used it for making pumpkin bread. I have a video on that. If I have any space, I'll go ahead and link to it up here. It'll be a darker video because it's an older one, but I've also made him pumpkin spice popsicles, because I make him his creamsicles all the time, and one time I did thaw some out and use it for making pumpkin spice popsicles. So those turned out pretty good.
Our pantry is actually in our oldest son's old room.
Yeah.
And so he come calling for his bed and his dresser. So we excavated the back side of the room there and got all his belongings out of there and reorganized the pantry. So we have a little bit more room, a little bit more accessible.
A lot more room, actually.
And so that's a good thing. We do want to kind of earthquake-proof that in the future. So that might be an upcoming video. If you guys have any pantries, it's a really good idea for you guys to consider fastening your all of your shelving together and also to the wall. And if you have like 2 rows, I plan on strapping all those together so they have more rigidity. And but that's something that should be done sooner than later in the event that you ever have some sort of seismic event. All that hard work and all that money that you put into canning, buying freeze-dried goods and beans and all this other stuff that you take all this time and care to preserve and to store, that could be lost in a matter of seconds if you have a big enough earthquake. So
yeah, so we still have a ways to go to completely get it finished out, but I'm loving how it's turned out. We've now got 2 walls lined with shelves, and then right down the center another set of shelves. But we had another set of shelves that we had bought, but for that room whenever Ryan got his bed and dresser out of there, so we could finish organizing it. So we got that set up, and but we still have some more organizing and work to do. Pat's been painting the walls a little bit at a time as he shifts everything around. Okay, paint this section, paint this section. And once we get it all done, I'll finally be able to give you guys a tour of the room and how it looks. And rather than just a picture of one little corner like you can see in that video we did. And I think I might have room for one more video. I'll link up here where we talked about the five ways that food storage saves. You can see a little corner of that room there. So, but anyway, it's nice. It's a lot easier to move around in there. We've got so much more space and a lot more light. All right, so that's our winter 2018/19 update for Rain Country, and we hope you enjoyed this video.
Take care.
And God bless.